Hi, Diane Davidson here from the Fine Homes Group at Keller Williams with my partner, business and otherwise, Bill Weidacker.
Hello.
Welcome to our podcast, Good Deeds Real Estate with a Mission. And I hope you'll be tuning into our sponsor series as we start interviewing sponsors of our FHG Scholarship Gives Back event. So, Bill, let's talk some real estate market of the moment, some numbers. The monthly numbers are out, yes? New Hampshire Association of
This
Realtors.
just in.
Hot off the press or
Yeah,
coffee
breaking news.
machine. So, what are we seeing?
Well, I think what we're seeing, from what I can tell, is inventory still down, obviously. It's popped up a little bit. I mean, the low so far this year of single-family homes on the market was in the 8s.
823, but who's counting?
823. So as of this morning, we were 1,250. So it's up. That's good news, but it's nowhere near where it needs to be. But the numbers through May, and keep in mind where there's a lag time from when the report, the May numbers or the month-end numbers come out, it's usually 10 to 14 days. And so the new numbers for May are this. Unit sales are off in single-family homes 21.3% in units. And sales volume, which is sort of representative of sales price, is off 17.6%. So that just, that means prices are still up over where they were last year, just a little over 3 percentage points. So otherwise, we'd be down the same amount that we are in units in sales volume. Here's a couple of things that I thought were really important. Average days on market year to date is now 35 days. Last year at this time, it was 26 days. So you think, well, 9 days, what does 9 days matter? It represents a 34% increase in days on market. So that's sort of the canary in a coal mine, in my opinion. When you look at days on market start to increase, and then you look at price changes. And that's another thing that I'm looking at every single day. And so price changes in Hillsborough, Rockingham, and Merrimack County, which sort of represent the populated parts of the state, are running on average now around 270 a month. And when you take that into account, that in those three counties, we're running at about 500 to 600 new listings coming in, we're now approaching about a 50% ratio. That doesn't mean for every listing that comes on, for every 2 listings that come on, one is going to adjust its price. It means this, is that more and more are adjusting their price. It might not be the brand new 2 listings that come on, but I think what's happening is we're getting a combination of a little bit of a decrease in demand, not much, but we've got that same sort of increase in confidence on behalf of the sellers and the agents to say, let's keep raising the price. Keep in mind, prices are up 3.2%.
Over last year.
Yeah, so if you're raising your price 10% over last year or 15% over last year, you're a good candidate for a price reduction.
Overreaching, huh?
Yep.
Yep.
Other than that, we're off. New listings are off almost 21%, 20.8. So that just tells me that we would have more sales if we had more listings.
Absolutely.
The pending sales year to date are off. Better to look at for the month of May, we're off about 15% in pending sales, which means closed sales are going to be down probably a little less than the 21% we are now, because it's 15, but it's going to take a while for 1 month to make up the 5 that we've just got.
Does that mean no summer vacation?
Yeah, I think what it means is this, is based on what we know has happened with the Federal Reserve and the fact that they've taken a pause, and we may be looking at 2 more rate increases that they're saying this year. I think what we're in for is the mortgage market to sort of stay where it is. I don't think we're going to see a huge drop in mortgage rates anytime soon. So that just means that this window of opportunity in this market that is still a seller's market is there, but maybe closing. So if you're thinking of selling, when better to sell, in a buyer's market or a seller's market? As a seller, it's a seller's market. And it's the other part, you might say, well, what happens to the buyers? Well, the buyers can always buy the house if there's one that they really want to buy, and they're showing the buyer activity is still strong. When rates change, they refinance.
And many lenders are refinancing for free.
Yeah.
Right, so it's incentive to buy now. I will say that we are seeing a buyer-friendly market though, as we did sort of in the fall, not so much the last quarter of 2022, but it's back. Home inspections are up, right? Home sale contingencies, more sellers are starting to accept those. So we're just seeing a little bit different behavior on the buyers' parts, or back to the sort of third quarter of last year. So, that makes it, it's still a good market to buy in, and rents are going up.
Big
Lot
time.
of investors the
Big
old rent, raising rents big time, and there's no real ceiling on that, so, not necessarily a good time to stick it out in your rental and hope.
Well, we know this, when you're renting a property, your interest rate is effectively 100% because
Correct.
you're getting no value in terms of the deduction.
Right,
Because you're not getting a deduction. So you can spend hundreds, over a 5-year period of time, you're spending $150,000 in rent and nothing to show for it.
yeah, we were talking about this on a coaching call this morning. Some buyers were out there paying $1,000 a month. Their two-family was just sold in Nashua, so they're going up to $1,800 a month, and that was the goodness of the heart of the new buyer, because that's really not even market rent. So those are the kind of increases we're seeing. So it's a great time to buy in. Great programs out there, and great programs, by the way, that for first-time buyers, and all sorts of grants and all that. So people who are getting into the market, and first-time buyer has a loose definition too. It means you can't have owned something in the last X number of years. There are great programs for first-generation Americans. And so people should consult with their lenders and find out what the opportunities are that aren't sort of what you're reading in the headlines.
Well, so you hear a lot of the national numbers on the national news. You just heard from me statewide numbers. I think it's important that if you're looking to buy or sell, and you're trying to get a sense of where values are, that you look to us to help you look at not only the local market, but you can drill this market right down into very micro markets. It could be a town, it could be a neighborhood, depending on where you're looking. So it's important to talk to your friendly neighborhood realtors.
Informed professionals. I have something funny, something that happened this morning. A client, another agent in our office, had some buyers, and this is good for buyers or sellers. They don't want to do anything because of the uncertainty in the market, to which I said, I've only been in it 44 years, but so far I've never experienced certainty in the market. Nobody knows what's going to happen. If it feels right now, it feels like an opportunity, go for it. And for buyers and sellers, it is.
It's funny you say, because I had the same conversation with a different answer. I've been at it 40 years, and I said I think I've seen certainty in the market for about 2.5 years out of 40. None of them more than 3 months in a row.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get a sense of where things are going to go, other than today.
Hindsight. There's certainty in hindsight, right?
You can look back. Oh, well, you can guarantee your predictions in the rearview mirror. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, good enough for today. Thanks for all the wisdom around the numbers, and thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast platform, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next week.